Guys, we got a interesting video for y'all today. So I was watching Tectone's video with his reaction to the China community complaining about Jing Yuan. And as y'all know, I'm a Jing Yuan fan, but I'm not the type to defend a character if the character sucks or if what they're saying is true. I don't be out here dick riding, bro. All right, I try to give the most objective information that I possibly can. Like if somebody's spitting some facts, I'm just say they're spitting facts. But with that being said, the China community, I don't like to put people in a box. I'm not gonna say the China community. People in China have been complaining about Jing Yuan's kit prior to the closed beta testing 3, and I've screenshotted some of the information that was put into the video. I'll also tag the creator who went out of his way to bring this information over. I'm not somebody who likes to steal credit. If you watch me in Wild Hearts, you know I always give credit where credit's due. Anyways, I just want to address this. I think it's important to address because people have a misconception about how attack percent, damage percent, and crit damage bonus works. People seem to think that attack percent is like worse than damage percent, and damage percent is worse than crit damage, or damage is better than crit, whatever the case may be. And in reality, there is no such thing as attack percent, damage percent, or crit damage being better than the other. There's balance and there's imbalance on the equation. In fact, this is the manifestation of diminishing return, because if you think of them as flowers, think of attack percent, damage percent, and crit damage percent as flowers. If you water one of the flowers a lot, but you don't water the other two, you get diminishing returns. You get the most yield in the result damage when you're watering them quite evenly. And I'm going to go over some examples here that's going to give you a good clarity as to what I'm saying when I say that. But first, I want to talk about these nerfs. This shit's hilarious. First thing I want to throw out there is too off rip. I'm a grown ass man. I'm not trying to shit on another content creator, nor am I trying to beef with another content creator. This is not a shit on Tectone. I don't care what your beef is with the man. I ain't got nothing against him. This is literally just some information that I saw that was inaccurate, and I just wanted to bring it to light so that people learn. We're all here to learn, bro. Teach with elegance, not with arrogance. We're not here to shit on each other. We're all here to learn and play a game that we all enjoy, and that's about it. So going into this bad boy right here, this is actually what I want to get to. This whole thing is pretty funny to me because they're like such minuscule changes, but apparently they were blown out of proportion. Like this last one, bro. Before dawn, 600 plus base attack, nerf to 582. This is what it was funny to me. People may not be aware of said nerfs after realizing Jing Yuan got slightly buffed, but the nerfs far outweigh the buffs. Extremely impactful to Jing Yuan's overall damage. Oh boy, extremely impactful. Look at this right here, bro. Before dawn, which is his signature weapon, mind you, something you absolutely do not need. 600 plus base attack nerfed to 582. Bro, that's a 18 attack nerf. Even if it's to his base attack, why are we talking about a 18 attack nerf as being extremely impactful? Dog, that's like going over to your boy, like, say, fam, you remember that dollar I gave you last week? Yeah, I'm gonna need that back. Like, bro, what are we talking about here? An 18 attack nerf? Whose mans is this, bro? So I thought that was funny. It's not even worth mentioning, right? This part right here, though, is what we're actually gonna go over. Traceability 14.4%, lightning damage percent to attack 28%, and then in parentheses put nerf. Now, before I did the calculations, I looked at this and I was like, is that really a nerf? And that's what led me to doing the calculations. Come to find out, this was a buff. It wasn't a nerf. Now, there's a couple of variables to consider, which we will go over to in a bit. But the fact of the matter is, if you don't know what you're talking about, it's something I love from Jack Ma. It is not dishonorable to say you don't know. In fact, it is, to the contrary, honorable. It is, however, dishonorable to participate in a conversation and pretend you know the topics of the conversation, the contents of the conversation. It is dishonorable to act like you know what it is you're talking about when in fact you don't. And that's my problem to whomever the hell said this was a nerf over in China. What, like, bro, whose mans? You obviously still got a little bit more studying to do, but I'll explain to you guys how this works and it'll make so much more sense. But let's continue on. Crit chance traces 18.7% to 12% nerf. Now, there's no doubt about it. That was a nerf, right? However, They failed to mention that this man has another 10% crit chance when he pops his skill within his traces, which takes this 18.7 and turns it into 28.7. Furthermore, everybody has a 5% base crit chance within their kit, right? So if we kept this right here, he would have been at 28.7 plus another 5. He would have been at 33.7% crit chance just from his kit, not even throwing in anything else, no other factors. Now, Wukong's going to be able to gift crit rate to another person. That, and it's like bare minimum, it's like 25%. So Wukong, with him alone, we're already looking at over 50% crit rate. We haven't even factored in a body or sub stats. Who the hell cares about a 6.7% crit chance nerf? It's not that big of a deal. Guys, again, this is not me trying to shit on anybody over in China. I'm just being honest. None of this is that big of a deal. 5% crit damage buff to battalion crush damage, which is to his lightning count. This was not even a buff in my personal opinion. If you know how to play Jing Yuan, when you pop his technique, when you go in Forgotten Hall, if you pop his technique with Jing Yuan, you're going to have his ult up along with his skill, and you're going to achieve 10 stacks, whether this is 2 or 3. This was actually one of the most pointless things I've seen, honestly, from this. I was just like, 3 stacks. I'll give you an example. He starts off with his lightning count, 3 stacks, right? If you pop technique, let's say they stayed right here. If you pop technique, he'll have 5 counts. When you go into battle, you literally ult with Jing Yuan to battery him, which pushes his ult up to maximum. You didn't pop his ult, and he gets 8 stacks, right? We're at 8 stacks now. All you have to do is pop his skill, and now he's at 10 stacks. I'm going to probably make a video on that, so you'll see what I mean. I'll probably call it like the most banger opener combo with Jing Yuan and Jing Yuan. And then you'll see what I mean. But long story short, this was actually useless. I would hardly call this a buff unless you don't open up with Jing Yuan with his ult. If you don't open up with his ult, then this is a buff. But why would you not open up with his ult when it's there? It just doesn't make sense. Finally, let's go ahead and get into the interesting part. Here we are, guys. We got 1500 attack, 60% damage bonus, and 500% whopping crit damage versus 2500 attack, 60% damage bonus, 300% crit damage. Which one do you guys think is better? Well, lucky for you, we got the answer already. Boom, the bottom one. The bottom one is actually better. Now let's go back to that and let's look. This is a prime example of diminishing return. This is a prime example of watering one flower and not watering the other flowers. This is way too much crit damage. You're going to receive diminishing returns on your damage. So it's better to take away from this and water these 2 flowers so that they can deal more damage. Now, I purposely didn't even include a buff to the damage bonus just to show you how much of a difference it makes when you balance out attack percent versus damage bonus versus crit damage. So there's no such thing as attack percent is worse than damage bonus. Any of these, they all play a role in increasing your damage, and it's so long as they are evenly distributed and balanced and watered appropriately, you're going to get the best yield. So it's crazy to me that they thought that the 28% attack boost to his kit instead of the 14.4% damage bonus was a nerf. However, then I consider, well, they probably didn't think about his best team comps. His best team comp is going to be Jing Yuan, him, and Bronya or Wukong, one or the other. It's going to be Jing Yuan, Bronya or Wukong, and then healer or tank. One more time, Jing Yuan, Jing Yuan, Bronya or Wukong, healer or tank. Now, when we look at the contents of this, plus his kit, he has a 38.8% lightning damage bonus in his sphere. He has a 10% damage bonus from his thunder set. Jing Yuan gives him up to a freaking 60% damage bonus, depending on if you have her at E3 or E0. She then has a light cone that can give him another 32% damage bonus. That doesn't go over to his count, so we won't count that. But then we go over to like somebody like Bronya, who also gives him a damage bonus. What I'm getting at is they give him so much damage bonus, he does not need any more damage bonus. So when they made the decision to take away this and add this instead, it was a buff because he did not need any more damage bonus. And I'm going to prove that to you. Let's go over here first and foremost, and let's look at this. If you've been keeping up with the channel, I've been theory crafting on Jing Yuan, telling people how strong he's going to be at level 80. This was a scenario where I showed how strong he was with his signature light cone at level 80 with just Jing Yuan as a support, nobody else on the team. This is the damage he was doing. Now, let's literally take away 28% attack and put in the 14.4. that they claimed was a nerf, what would that damage look like? First, in order for you guys to understand that and understand I'm not trying to like okie dokie you, his base attack with a signature light cone and his base attack at level 80 comes out to 1,280. Okay, so all we do is we take 1,280 times 0.28, whatever that number is, deduct it from this bad boy right here, which I'll go ahead and do that for you, times 0.28, it's 358.4. So if we you know what, let's get our trusty calculator out. If we take 3815 and subtract it from 358, you come up with 3,457. Okay, so we come over here, 3,457, and we added in the 14.4% damage bonus. He's dealing less damage. Why is he dealing less damage? Because he has enough damage bonus already. Case in point, first and foremost, don't just take what people say as if it's the truth. Secondly, there's no such thing as attack percent being better than damage bonus, vice versa. It's all a balance on an equation, and they all contribute to a number. Now, whether you have too much of something is going to factor in on whether you're actually doing more or less damage. But in his particular case in point, considering the team comp and how you build him, that was a buff. That wasn't a nerf. Hopefully, you guys learned something from this video. Above all, you learn not to just take what people say. Always do your own due diligence. Always do your own research, because this is hilarious. These were, in fact, nerfs. No doubt about it. No way around it. This was 100% nerfs. But the most hilarious thing about it is they were necessary nerfs when you consider the other supports in the game and what they're bringing to the table. Nobody else is given a 3-turn 60% damage bonus burst. Buff. Nobody else. It's usually a 2-turn or 1-turn max amongst the supports, including Bronya. Nobody is giving a 40% speed boost. 40%, not 40 flat. Asta gives 40 flat. This girl gives 40% prior to the nerf. Then finally, when you kill somebody with her E2, which makes her very valuable for Jing Yuan, by the way, Jing Yuan, you get 5 energy back when you kill somebody, but it used to be 10 energy. Bro, for a 4-star character, this was outrageously broken. These nerfs were warranted. They were justified nerfs. It baffles me that they were literally out here complaining about these nerfs. Now, I'm somebody who has looked at all the numbers between Ting Yuan and Jing Yuan as things stand now, and I know their capabilities. Unfortunately, the free-to-play experience doesn't allow me to get to the end game as fast as I would like, but they perform at a very powerful level even after these nerfs. So it's funny to me, man. Like, they were really complaining about them taking this down to this, which is a very fair nerf if you ask me. 40% speed boost and 10 energy, bro. Like, she wouldn't even just be broken for Jing Yuan. She'd be broken for everybody in the game. She'd be better than Bronya if they kept all of this. And that's just an imbalance. Sometimes you have to make certain adjustments to fit within a balance of a game, bro. Like, this would have been a Bennett situation 110% if they did not do these things. Case in point, man, boys be out here tripping, bro. I don't know what else to say. Hopefully you guys learned something from this video. Y'all take care. I'll catch you on the flip side. I'm outie.